What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about the presidential debate that we just watched, or well, I just watched. So yeah, let's get into it. This is by far one of the worst that I've watched. And here's why. Donald Trump kept interrupting Biden like nonstop. And there was a moment when Chris Wallace just had to interrupt Trump. He goes, "Gentlemen, please stop. Like, Mr. Trump, please stop interrupting Biden for just a couple seconds." And Biden goes, "Yeah, just keep yapping, Donald." And one dirty thing that Trump did, I'm going to be talking about Biden too, but one dirty thing that Trump did is he kept bringing up Beau Biden, which is Joe Biden's dead son, who went to war in Iraq, and he had brain cancer, okay? And the one thing that he did is he brought up Beau Biden, and he was, talking dirty on him, and he brought up Hunter Biden. But why are you bringing up people's families? Biden never brought up anybody from Trump's family at all. And what's so dirty about that is you're talking about like somebody's family. Like, you don't bring family into like an argument. Then that's when it gets really real. And Biden and Trump kept talking over each other nonstop. Like, I couldn't hear what anybody was saying for the most part until somebody else shut up. And they both kept backstabbing their own political campaigns. Like, neither of them talked about any plan that they were going to do or anything. So they both kept talking over each other and saying, "Oh yeah, my plan's this, my plan's that." But they had no plan. Let's just face it. Neither of them were talking about the plans. I don't even know who won this debate. It's like, it's so drawn up and it's so in the air. Like, oh, it's terrible. And yeah, it was just a mess. It was a mess. And like, I think a lot more people after watching that debate have lost faith in both of these candidates. I was talking to my friends in a group chat that we have, and like, my friends who support Trump were saying that they had to turn it off, and like, I couldn't stand it. Okay, and most times you can't look at only one aspect of the thing. You got to look at both aspects. You got to look at where both candidates are coming. Because if you look at just one aspect or one sentence or one thing that the candidates are saying, if you're looking at one side of it, you're literally only going to be looking at, you're going to be looking at blinders like this. So like, that's one thing you got to do. You got to look at both aspects of it. You can't just look at, hey, blah blah blah, my plan's this and this and that, and it's better than this because such and such. You have to look. You have to look at Trump's plan versus Biden's plan, and you have to look at both of their policies, and you have to look at the whole swing of things. You can't just look at one person's policies and say, "I support them because Trump's this and that." You can't say, "Oh, I support Trump because Biden's this and that." That's not a fair way of doing things. They both have equal problems, but yeah, you can't just go into it with blinders. I think a lot more people, because of this debate, a lot more people are going to be swinging towards Biden because Trump just would not stop talking. He would not stop talking. He wouldn't let Biden speak, and most of my friends, or most of the people that I talk to that support Trump and stuff like that, they are the exact opposite. They allow other people to talk, and they're reasonable, and they view other people's opinions, and they respect them. Most people who are Republicans, aside from Trump supporters, they believe in that same thing. They believe in respect. So I think the people who respect one another are going to, switch over their votes. Now, October 7th, 2 weeks from now, Kamala Harris, the vice presidential candidate for Joe Biden's campaign, and Mike Pence, the current vice president, are going to be debating each other. That's going to be a fun one. Now, I don't really have anything against Kamala Harris or against Mike Pence. I don't have a problem with Pence as much as I do with Trump, because I haven't heard Pence talk at all, and I think he's a lot more reasonable than Trump by far. So yeah, that should be good to look forward to. I'm really excited to watch that October 7th. You know, a couple of years ago I wasn't really political at all, but now I'm really political because in like 4 years I'll be voting. And you know, people are saying, oh, well, 14-year-olds shouldn't care about politics. 15-year-olds, 16, 17, 18, they shouldn't care about politics because they're kids, they're teenagers. They shouldn't have a say in it. Well, yes, we should, because it is going to, you know, it's going to affect your future. It's going to affect your future decisions and what happens in your future. Like in the debate today, they were talking, Biden was talking about what what he's planning to do in 2035 and 2055. Stuff like that. And that's when everybody from the generation now, when we're all teenagers, that's when we're all going to be adults and have our families of our own. And that's what the policies today are going to be put in place. So the policies that are put in place today, that's how they're going to affect us later in life when we have our own children. And when we do that, you know, the economy, it just keeps building on itself. And America, United States, keeps building on itself. So like, we're like the policies that are put in place today, whether Obamacare is here or whether Obamacare is gone, or it's still there, whether it's abolished or not, or whether it stays, it's going to affect people negatively and it's going to affect people positively. It's going to, if Obamacare is abolished and it's gone, it's going to affect people that have problems with their kids getting treatment for cancer. That's one thing that it really funds. I watched this video on YouTube, and it was talking about how Obamacare, it helps this mother out with paying for their infants' cancer treatments. And if Obamacare gets stripped from that, their child is most likely going to die because they don't have the money to keep taking care of them. And that's really sad if that happens. You see, that's one thing that Donald Trump does not look at in a full perspective of things. And that's one thing that I think Joe Biden could do a lot better. And I think that both candidates could do a lot of things a lot better. Obviously, I'm not for Trump, if you can tell, but I don't think neither candidate has won me over completely, but there's only two candidates there. And as Biden said, he is the Democratic Party. He's the only person representing them besides Kamala Harris. And I think that he might have an advantage and sway over people who support Trump. Like I said earlier, some of my Trump supporter friends, they were saying that like Trump's acting like an idiot, and they agree with Biden on a lot of things he said, because I mean, that's typical Trump. He's just talking over people. That's how he wins. So that's my video, guys. Thank you guys all for watching, and have a good one. Peace.